Okay, Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see this gathering today, and I think this will be one of the most important milestones that we are going to have at KU for the next period of time. Okay, so I think the first question is why we are here today. I think I will start by just mentioning that the two most important things that we have struggled with for the past period of time is employability and to actually get exposed to industrial experience. From the employability perspective, as per the latest statistics, our students are 80% employed after 9 months of graduation. And one of the most important problems that when they are employed, they have to go through at least 1 year of rotational training in order to get exposed to practical and industrial experience. So what we are trying to offer today is one of the most powerful work learning integration strategies in order to equip you with the expertise and the way forward in order to break the two problematic issues, which is employability and being exposed to industry experience, which is the cooperative education. So this is what we are here today for, is to understand what is cooperative education and how this is going to be implemented within KU for the first time. And this, again, just to enlighten you, this is a pilot project that is going to be starting actually this fall in order to start implementation in the summer of 2026 for selected number of students within all engineering program and part of the science programs. So let me start with just a word of, where is that? Yeah. This is an inspiring word that you don't know, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So we all know that we have to take the first step in order to reach to something. And this is what we are trying to do here. So we are starting to employ a cooperative educational program, which is literally a program that is going to link the theoretical background that you are actually learning at Khalifa University with the industrial expertise. So most of the people actually are very strong in foundations, but they don't know how to implement that when it goes to industry. When you go to the work field, you don't know how to use your background, theoretical background, and how you implement that within the industrial framework. So the cooperative education is actually one of the most powerful tools that is going to help you to just materialize your theoretical background and implement it within the industrial framework. In order to do that, you are going to actually go through several processes, or you are going to gain several expertise. The first one is the experience and skills that you are going to implement within a co-op. Before going into that, the co-op is going to allocate students, instead of going into internships, you are going to go and be considered as an employee. So the difference that I see between internship and a cooperative education is that in internship, you are going to the industry as a trainee. But in co-op, you are going to the industry as an employee. And this is a big difference when you are going as someone to be trained or someone to actually work, physically work within the industry. When you are going as a trainee, the amount of interest between the student and also the employer is totally different in perspective when you are going as an employee. So this is what we want to implement. So the technical and interpersonal skills that you are going to learn within this journey of 6 months for the first co-op and 6 months in the second co-op is going to be very important for you to build your expertise and build this link between the theoretical background and the industrial experience. Typically, students, when they finish their undergraduate, they don't know exactly what they want to do. So this is going to be a very important tool in order to equip you with a futuristic vision in order to know exactly what you want to do when you graduate. So you are going to look at different career development and different career paths. Within the career development, you are going to see what is your interest. For example, if you are a mechanical engineer, you don't know exactly how this mechanical engineering background is going to fit, or which kind of industry you are going to be going to. So through the co-op, you can be exposed to different industries and different roles within the industry in order to develop this kind of interest and know what kind of goals you want to do when you are graduating and going to the market. Also, it will be an excellent opportunity to build your network, to know what people are doing, to just get your ideas out and explore different opportunities within the industry. And this definitely is going to help you in improving the chances for employability. Once you gain the experience, which is going to be physically replacing the actual training that you are going to require to do, you are going to be better employer. You are going to have more chances for employability. The third thing is the academic integration. We are only here, or mostly, looking at foundation, background information. You are going to go through lots of theories, but how to implement those theories when you go to the workplace is something that is seldom done within the university. But what we are trying to do is to have this easy for you through the co-op. So you take your theoretical background that you are learning in the classroom and you are using that in the actual workplace. So this is going also to help you in order to improve your employability aspects. You are going to be going through professional development. Typically, we don't know how to deal with managers, how to deal with bosses, because here we are only dealing with faculty members. You're only dealing with your professor. You're only submitting your work or quizzes or exams and so on and so forth. But you don't know what is the typical etiquette of work. So this co-op is going to expose you to different culture. The mandate from a student to do quizzes, homework, or any kind of assessment within the university is totally different than the mandate of an employee within a company. So this is something that you are going to learn through this co-op. The culture of industry, the culture of workspace is going to be different, and this is going to be learned within a co-op. And finally, the personal growth. You are going to be more mature in order to proceed with the work, given that you already spent some time within industry. You are going to strengthen your background information and complement that by industrial experience. So this is very well suited for people who are looking to progress as fast as possible. So instead of staying for the first year of your career after you graduate, trying to navigate within the industry on what you want to do, what kind of work you want to do, how can you link your theoretical background with the industrial requirement. We are going to ease that for you by having those co-op systems in place. Now, this is just a comparison, small comparison between what we are expecting within a co-op system or what we are expecting through internship. Internship is a short duration of time, maximum of 16 weeks, that can be taken as one lump sum or can be divided into two pieces of 8 weeks each. And typically, the student is allocated to industry, but as I said, allocated as a trainee. So typically, within a trainee framework, the industry normally look at you as someone who is not really doing an impact, is not really benefiting the company. So they are mostly not interested in giving you tasks, a real task. But in co-op, you are going to have two different blocks of 6 months each. So this is 26 weeks for each co-op. You are going to go through two co-ops, and this means that you are going to graduate with 1 year of industrial experience. That is going to be a massive in your CV. It's going to be a significant asset when you are applying for an employment. And in most of the cases, as per my experience, being at Waterloo for almost 25 years, which is the biggest co-op operative system, people actually finish their degree and directly continue to work, because the last co-op is actually the one that they're using in order to directly go through the employment. So in most of the cases, the co-op system lead to direct employment. So as I said, we have 80% of our students employed within the first 9 months of graduation. What we are looking for is to increase this number and also not to wait for 9 months to be employed. We employ directly. So once you finish, you directly change your status from a student to an employee within a company. Compensation is important. Most of the internships are not compensated for. So this means that this is considered as training or voluntarily work, but co-op is paid job. So you are expecting to have a pay. The pay is typically going to be within the norm, which I don't know how much is it, but it is typically a reasonable pay that is aligned with the minimum wage, which is something that we are going to decide on. Typically, we are looking at about maybe 8,000 dirhams per month for the employment, okay? So 8 to 10,000 dirhams per month as a compensation for the co-op. So this is, again, something that you are gaining experience and you are paid at the same time. So you are having a win-win situation. You are continuing your education system, gaining very good experience, and at the same time, you are paid. For the duration, the co-op is going to be arranged such as it will occupy a summer plus a fall. The first co-op is going to be a summer and a fall. So the first co-op, for example, is mandated to start in June 2026, 1st of June. You are going to take 6 months of co-op. So this will occupy summer and then fall. And then the second co-op is going to be the opposite. It will be spring and summer. So you are going to have 1 full year of co-op. Long-term professional practices, because within 6 months, the employer is going to see that this person who is coming for a co-op is actually dedicated and staying for a significant period of time. So you can be loaded with tasks that is going to benefit the company, and also it is going to benefit you, compared to short-term training, which is the internship that we currently have. And definitely, you are going to be exposed to in-depth industry practices, and you are going to learn how things are done within industry, and you are not going to be just scratching the surface of this kind of training. Now, what are the requirements for the co-op? We have 2 sets of requirements. The first one is just a typical cumulative GPA. So we are saying the cumulative GPA, in order to be eligible to apply for the co-op, is 3.25. So this is the minimum requirement to apply to be considered for a co-op. After that, all the people who are eligible from the cumulative GPA perspective are going to go through an interview process internally within KU. And based on the interview, you are going to be ranked. So we are going to rank the students who are applying for co-op based on those interviews. So eligibility is cumulative GPA of 325 and passing the interview. In order to go for the co-op, you have to finish 90 credits. So by the time of the application, you should be at the range of 75 credits. If you are 74, still is okay. We can actually compensate for that within the semester that you are going to be here in preparation. So what we are saying that in order to go out for the co-op, you need to have 90 credits. Okay, so if you have 74 credits, for example, when you are applying, which is happening this fall, by the time you go for the co-op, you have to have 90. This means that you have to top it up by 16 more credits. Okay, we're going to have the screening interview, and we are going to help you actually in the process of being prepared for the co-op by having dedicated workshops that is going to help you, for example, in how to write your CV, how to go through the interview, what kind of workplace etiquette. So those dedicated workshops are going to be offered for every single co-op students who is going to be going out during the next summer. We have the GENS 300 that people who are in the third year are currently studying. And this is actually the starting point of the preparation. But on top of that, we are going to have the workshop. So this is pretty much the requirement. What are the programs that are considered? As I mentioned, this is a pilot project. Not all the programs are considered and not all the students are considered. The programs are pretty much all the engineering programs in addition to the computer science from the science, and that's it. So all engineering, as you can see, all engineering programs, some of them are under the College of Engineering and Physical Sciences. Some of them, like computer engineering and robotics, are under the Computing and Mathematical Sciences College, and the biomedical are under the College of Health and Medical and Health Sciences. And the only exception to that is the computer science, which is the only science program that is considered for this pilot project. Again, I have to mention the pilot project is selecting maximum of around 40 students in KU in order to go through the co-op, but this is only the starting point. As we move forward, once the program is fully developed and the first batch is out there, the number is going to increase from 40 almost to at least double that, so 80 students. And also other programs are going to join. So we are looking forward to have other people from physics, from math, from chemistry, from earth science to join the co-op program once it is fully materialized, which is anticipated to be done within pretty much the first couple of years. So the numbers are going to increase and the disciplines also are going to encompass pretty much everything that we are doing. This is just to show you the sequence. So the co-op is anticipated to start after your third year. So you finish the third year. And the main reason for having the third year as the starting point of the co-op is to give you the chance to take as much as possible from the background information. So when you are placed in the workplace, you are a valuable asset. So we don't want the student to go actually to the workplace with very minimal amount of information, so he or she cannot actually perform. We are making sure that when you go, you perform good because you have enough background in order to get the task done. So the first year is typical study, the second year is typical study, the third year is typical study, but at the second semester of the third year, we are going to start our recruitment, okay? So which is happening now, for example. So we are starting now the recruitment for people in 3A, which is the first semester in the third year. And this recruitment and the processes are going to be done by the time you are actually within your 3B classes, okay, which is the next semester. And once you are done with your 3B, which is the end of spring 2026, for people who are currently in 3A, you are going to go out for your co-op in June 2026. And then you are coming back after 6 months to finish your fourth year with Senior Design 1, Senior Design 2, because those have to be back to back. And then you have the other option to go for the second co-op after you finish your fourth year. And we are anticipating that this second co-op is going to be directly transferable to an employment contract. Okay, so the second co-op directly is going to be transferable to a work contract. We have different stakeholders, and all those stakeholders have different responsibilities. So here I'm just listing the stakeholders: students, employer, and two sides of mentoring system or coordinators, one from the logistics point of view and one from the academic point of view. So the students have the responsibility to prepare themselves, equip themselves with the best practices, having the CV ready, having their interview skills polished, the interpersonal skills. All those skills are responsibilities for the students. And also, you need to have the workshops. We are going to have mandatory workshops for you that you have to attend, okay? From the employer perspective, they have to develop a well-defined job description for what they are going to ask you to do in order for you to apply for it. And they have to mentor the students closely when the students are in the co-op semester. And they have also to give feedback on your performance. And this feedback actually is going to be used in order to materialize the academic requirement. Don't forget that this co-op is a replacement for you, is going to be a replacement for the internship. So it's going to be counted for the 2 credits of the internship. We are going to replace that by the co-op, but definitely it will be much more beneficial for you than the internship. Then we have the 2 coordinators, one from the logistics point of view, one from the academic point of view, and both are going to help you in order to tackle any kind of problem that you are going to have before the co-op or within the co-op system. So the co-op coordinator is going to help you to look at the program. They are going to actually provide support from the employer point of view to get more employer into our pool in order to give us more opportunities and more jobs. They are going to do site visits to actually follow up on your progress. And similarly, the other coordinator, but this from the academic side, also is going to be looking at advising you on which job, for example, to pick when you have the job offers or the job descriptions. You are going to go through different types of jobs. You can consult with your academic advisor to see which job matches your qualification, matches your program, in order to be able to pick the best one. And that they also are going to visit the students during their co-op in order to follow on any kind of logistics or problems that you might encounter. And they are going to be looking at your appraisals or the feedback that will be given by the employer. Okay, so finally, we are going to provide you with lots of support. We are not going to just like throw you in the co-op system without giving you support. And you are going to have all the support that you can imagine. We are going to have job search for you. We are going, okay, I have to mention that co-op is not something that you are going to be given, but you have to actually fight for it. So we are not going to give you jobs, but we are going to give you opportunities, and you have to prove yourself. As I'm going to show in the next slide, you are going to go through different steps of processes in order to actually materialize the co-op. So you have to go through, first, you have to have the right cumulative GPA. You have to pass through the internal interview. You have to select your jobs based on list of jobs that we are going to provide through our employer network. You have to go through another interview with the employer, okay? Not only one employer, you have to select as many jobs that suits your expertise, and you are going to go through several interviews for each of the jobs that you are going to select, and then you are going to be either selected or not selected. So I have to emphasize that this is a competitive system, okay? So there is no guarantee that you are going to be given a work. You have to earn it, okay? But also, I have to mention that you can come up with a job. So for example, if you know of a company that you know someone in and they are interested to hire you as a co-op student, then you can actually make them supply a job description for us that we have to approve, and then we can proceed further. We are going to provide you with different styles of career training to write your CV, to go through an interview, and for any other stuff that is going to be related to workspace etiquette, for example. So we are going to provide that to you. Any kind of mentorship, we are going to provide that to you, whether before actually the co-op starts or after that. We are going to help you, for example, to develop your portfolio through Simplicity that everyone knows about. So you are going to develop your portfolio, submit that on Simplicity, and then we are going to be looking at it, approve it, or asking you to change whatever is needed to be approved. And we are going to make ourselves available for any kind of feedback, whether it is on the logistics or on the academic side. Okay, so here is, I think this is maybe my last slide, is just to give you the, no, this is the next to last. those are the kind of, those are the employer that we already have network with. So all those are employer, whether they are on energy, governmental, private sector, startup companies, all those are partners with us that we have actually helped in placing people in those companies as internships. And we are actually in communication with those companies to change the ideology of the company in order to accommodate co-ops instead of internships. And most of them are actually very enthusiastic about it because they see this as an excellent opportunities for training. Because at the end, what the companies are looking for is someone to join who is actually ready to take the job. So using this kind of co-op is going to provide them with the training ahead of time. So instead of waiting until the student finish their bachelor and get the BSc and then go for the job and stay for 1 year to be trained, this student going through the co-op will be trained within the educational system, within the 4 year or 4.5 year of education. They will be trained directly, so they can be very effective when they join the company. They will be directly producers instead of waiting for 1 year at least in order to understand what is happening. So all those companies are actually in partnership with KU in order to accommodate. Tomorrow, we are going to have a similar session, but for employer in order to let them know what kind of opportunities they have within the co-op. And most of them are really enthusiastic about accepting our students as co-op students and also willing to participate and pay. This is a very important thing. Now, regarding the timeline. So today we are going to go through this session just to inform you that this system is available for you. The co-op officially started today. Okay, so now you know the information that we have something called co-op. You know the benefits of the co-op. Most of this information is available on the website of KU. So if you need more information, you can feel free to contact Career Office, or you can also browse on the internet under KU, and you are going to have significant amount of information about the cooperative system. So today we are starting. By this coming Friday, you are going to have actually a sign-up sheet in order to sign up your interest. So if you are interested, providing that you have the GPA, this is the most important thing at this point. If you have the right GPA, which is minimum of 3.25, and you belong to one of the programs that I have mentioned, which is all engineering programs in addition to computer science, then you can sign up your interest in this sheet that will be provided to you. Once this is done, you are going to have internal interviews, which is going to happen at the end of September. We are going also to contact you to tell you exactly what will be the date. This internal interview is the second requirement for eligibility. It will be done by some people from the Career Office, in addition to faculty member from your own discipline. Okay, we are not trying to challenge you, but just to make sure that you have enough background that is needed in order to be placed in the co-op, in the company. So we just need to make sure that you are on top of things. Once you pass this interview, you are going to have to be placed on a ranking list. So we are going to rank all the students that we have in the interviews. We are going to rank them, and we are going to inform you that you are in or not. Most probably, most of the people we are going to interview are going to be in. We are looking at something around the 40 maximum of 50 for KU, not per program, of course. So 50 students from KU are going to be going out for co-op within the first offering happening in June. So roughly, we are going to have around 4 to 5 students per program. So in total, we have about 10 programs that are participating in the pilot project. And roughly, we are looking at 4 to 5 students per program to go for the co-op. Some programs does not have too many students. So for example, I will not just mention one program. Petroleum engineering have less number of students than chemical engineering. Okay, so maybe within the two, and instead of having 5 and 5, we'll have 3 and 7, something like that. Okay, so but on average, each program is going to be eligible for 4 to 5 slots. So once you are actually there, we are going to help you to develop your portfolio, having all the information, writing the CVs, having your statement of, for example, achievement. Any preparation that is needed for the portfolio is going to be developed by November 2025. And this is going to be mounted on Simplicity. It will be checked by the career office. You will be given feedback. And of course, during the preparation period, you can feel free to drop by the career office in order to have any kind of feedback or advising or help in order to develop this. Okay, once you have your portfolio created, you are going to have jobs that will be posted for you. Okay, so within this November timeframe, also the companies are going to be working on developing their job description for the jobs that they want, and it is going to be mounted also on Simplicity. And all those jobs are going to be open for you to look at. We are going to have on Simplicity, we are going to have 2 parallel tracks, one for the internship, one for the co-op. You as a co-op eligible student, you are going to be looking at the co-op stream, and you are going to be seeing different job descriptions with all the details of the company, the location, the time requirements, everything. Okay, so you are going to see the full picture of the job along with the job description itself, and you are going to browse through it. And we advise you to apply for as many jobs that you see fit. Don't apply for all the jobs. If you are in aerospace engineering, I'm not anticipating that you apply for a mechanical engineering job, for example. So you have to pick and choose the right jobs for you. But you are welcome to apply for as many jobs as you want, providing that they are related to your background experience. Once you are doing that, the window is going to have some time that you will be informed, for example, like a week to look at the jobs and apply. Within this week, you can consult with the career office, you can consult with your advisor on which actually job is fitting better, which job is going to help you to build your portfolio from the career perspective. All those items are going to be happening within November. And then you are going to have a break. This break, of course, because the final exams are approaching in December, so we're not going to disturb your final exam period, and also we're not going to disturb your break after the final exam. And then in January, end of January, the companies are going to start preparing for interviews. So they are going to be selecting which students that they are going to interview based on your portfolio that is highlighted and based on the application that you did. So you applied, for example, to Siemens. Okay, so Siemens will see 10 people applying to this job. They are going to pick which ones to be interviewed. And for example, like ADNOC is going to see that 15 person applied for a specific job. They are going to see which one they see from the portfolio are fitting their job, and they are going to highlight those as potential candidates. Okay, once we have this kind of information, we are going to have companies interview. So the company are going to interview the students who applied for the jobs, and we are going to have kind of matching mechanism. We can discuss the matching mechanism later on, but there is some kind of automated matching mechanism based on your selection. So when you go through, for example, an interview with 10 companies, you are going to rank the companies. I'm going to say, this job is my first choice, this job is my second, my third, my fourth, and so on. And the companies also are going to do the same. This student is my first choice, this student is my second, third, fourth, and so on. And through a certain mechanism that we are developing along with our partners, University of Waterloo, we are going to have a matching mechanism to match students to companies based on certain criteria. Okay. Once this matching is done, we are going to be ready. You are going to have your final offer in March. And in March also, you are going to have some training in order to be able to join the company. You are going to have some kind of health and safety training, some kind of workspace etiquette, and Co-op is going to start in June 1st, 2026. So this is pretty much the opportunity that we are offering. I believe that this is a very interesting opportunity for everyone, and it is something that is going really to help you to develop your capacity as a potential valuable employer. So it is very important to think about it. It might look scary at the beginning, but believe me that this is one of the most effective work integrated learning mechanism that is even developed, and it is helping students worldwide to be perfectly matched to industries, and it is helping people to have a very smooth transition between the educational system and the industrial system. So consider it a very important thing for your success.